A rare Russian Doomsday command jet in Tehran is seen as a bold signal of closer Moscow-Iran military ties. The plane's presence looks more symbolic, pointing to coordination under defense deals rather than confirmed weapons or secret payloads. Its deployment is read as a political warning and contingency step, showing Russia is ready to move closer to Iran if tensions erupt. China and Russia have also sent warships for Maritime Security Belt 2026 drills with Iran near the Strait of Hormuz. As Iran drills at sea with Russia and China under Trump's pressure, Xi and Putin appear to back Tehran. Russia dispatched its elite airborne command jet to Tehran on February 16, precisely one day before key Iran-EU talks, underscoring the high-stakes timing and strategic weight Moscow is placing on the crisis. The RSD-422-214PU flew directly from Moscow to Tehran as global anxieties about a potential Iran-US war surged, turning the flight into a powerful visual symbol of Russia stepping closer into the confrontation. This rare airborne command post, closely associated with the Kremlin's top leadership, was operated by Russia's Rossiya Special Flight Squadron, the same unit trusted with sensitive missions and VIP movements. Its arrival in Tehran signaled that Russia and Iran are tightening their high-level security coordination, suggesting more direct consultation, contingency planning, and shared messaging against perceived US pressure. The jet is reported to be equipped with hardened communications gear, encrypted links, and multiple redundant systems, enabling it to function as a secure airborne command hub during severe crises or conflict scenarios. Deploying the 2214PU was widely read as Moscow signaling concrete backing for Tehran, offering reassurance and coordination at a moment when tensions with the United States are running dangerously high. The presence of such a specialized command aircraft also hints at planned, closed-door strategic talks between senior Russian and Iranian officials, potentially shaping how both capitals respond if the crisis escalates further. It serves as a flying command center, allowing top leaders to monitor fast-changing situations and issue immediate orders from the air whenever a serious security emergency unfolds. The aircraft is fitted with heavily encrypted communication channels and a specialized SBUS-214 system, giving senior officials a protected line to talk, plan, and coordinate without fear of interception. Even if land-based communication networks are jammed, damaged, or taken down in an attack, this platform lets national leadership retain full command, ensuring their directives still reach all critical units. From onboard systems, Russian and Iranian officials can align on weapon support, joint projects, and sensitive intelligence exchanges, tightening their military technical partnership during periods of heightened tension. In moments of delicate talks or looming conflict, the jet becomes a roaming nerve center, linking Tehran directly with Kremlin decision rooms so leaders can synchronize strategy and responses in real time. It gives Iran a shielded setting to talk through sanctions relief, nuclear negotiations, and future defense posture with Russia, away from US surveillance and intense diplomatic pressure. The platform helps Tehran coordinate its reactions with Moscow while US forces, including advanced F-35 jets, gather in the region, ensuring both capitals present a synchronized front in any crisis. Its presence bolsters Iran's image as a central pillar in a growing Eurasian security web with Russia and China, rather than an isolated state facing Western pressure alone. By enabling regular high-level consultations, it nudges the relationship away from improvised wartime help and toward a more formal, long-term framework of strategic planning and security cooperation. The arrival of Russia's so-called Doomsday command jet in Iran came just days after a Russian military attack helicopter was seen over Tehran, reinforcing the sense that Moscow is steadily expanding its military footprint alongside Iran. On February 4th, online footage surfaced claiming to show a Russian Mi-28NE night hunter gunship flying low over the Iranian capital, instantly fueling speculation that deliveries of advanced Russian attack helicopters to Tehran have begun. Analysts noted that the helicopter was reportedly filmed near the Pars Aerospace Services Company facility at Mehrabad, a site linked to Iran's Revolutionary Guard, hinting at formal integration into IRGC-connected infrastructure. Defense reports say Iran has long sought Mi-28 helicopters, Su-35 fighter jets, and Yak-130 trainer aircraft from Russia, part of a broader shopping list aimed at overhauling its air power after years of sanctions and outdated fleets. All of this is unfolding as Iran, China, and Russia prepare to stage joint naval drills near the Strait of Hormuz, a choke point for global oil flows and a flashpoint in any future conflict with the United States. According to reports on February 17th, the Maritime Security Belt 2026 exercise will kick off in the coming days, bringing together warships, support vessels, and naval aviation from the three countries for complex coordinated maneuvers. At the same time, Beijing has been stepping up logistical, intelligence, and technological assistance to Tehran, seeing Iran as a key partner to shield from Western pressure and covert operations by Israel and the US. China is also helping modernize Iran's radar and air defense network with systems like the YLC-8B, designed to better detect stealth aircraft and close critical gaps that US and Israeli forces could exploit in any future strike. Even as Russia moves fresh military assets into Iran's corner, Tehran and Washington are pressing ahead with a second round of nuclear negotiations in Geneva on February 17th, trying to defuse a crisis that many fear could slip into open war. This latest session, brokered quietly by Oman, builds on an initial round of talks in Muscat, with diplomats shuttling between rooms in a bid to turn fragile back-channel contacts into a more durable, written understanding. President Donald Trump has insisted that Iran wants a deal, yet in the same breath he keeps warning of severe consequences if the talks fail, pairing offers of diplomacy with the threat of military or economic punishment. Iran's foreign minister has struck a cautiously optimistic tone, saying negotiators have at least settled on key guiding principles for possible agreement, even though the toughest details and trade-offs still lie ahead. We managed to reach a general agreement on a number of guiding principles, based on which we will move forward from now on, and start working on text for a possible agreement. This does not mean that we can quickly reach an agreement, but at least the path has started. We hope that this is done as soon as possible, and we are ready to spend enough time on it. Nevertheless, when you reach the stage to put together a text, things becomes more difficult and detailed. Good progress was made compared to the previous meeting, and now there is a clear path ahead of us, and I consider this a positive point. It was agreed that both sides start working on the text for a possible agreement, and then exchange the drafts and decide on a date for the third round. American officials struck a cautious note, saying the talks had yielded some progress but warning that a final agreement would still demand tough bargaining over sanctions relief, nuclear limits, and verification steps. US Vice President J.D. Vance echoed that mixed assessment on February 17th, saying the negotiations went well in some ways, hinting at areas of quiet breakthrough but also signaling that major points of contention remain unresolved.
I think the president has a lot of options. We do have a very powerful military. The president's shown a willingness to use it. He also has a remarkable diplomatic team. He's shown a willingness to use that, too. And so what the president has been very clear with the Iranians, and actually I just talked to Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner this morning about some of their negotiations, is the United States has certain red lines. Our primary interest here is we don't want Iran to get a nuclear weapon. We don't want nuclear proliferation. If Iran gets a nuclear weapon, there are a lot of other regimes, some friendly, some not so friendly, who would get nuclear weapons after them. That would be a disaster for the American people, because then you have these crazy regimes all over the world with the most dangerous weapons in the world, and that's one of the things the president has said he's going to prevent. Now, we would very much like, as the president has said, to resolve this through a conversation and a diplomatic negotiation, but the president has all options on the table. And, one thing about the negotiation I will say this morning is, in some ways it went well. They agreed to meet afterwards, but in other ways it was very clear that the president has set some red lines that the Iranians are not yet willing to actually acknowledge and work through. So we're going to keep on working it, but of course the president reserves the ability to say when he thinks that diplomacy has reached its natural end. We hope we don't get to that point, but if we do, that'll be the president's call. To appreciate, it's one of the most hostile and also one of the most irrational regimes in the world. You can't have people like that have the most dangerous weapon known to man. It would be awful for our security. It would be awful for the future of our children. Look, everything is on the table. We certainly want Iran to stop being a state sponsor of terrorism. They're one of the world's largest state sponsors of terrorism. There are a lot of ways in which they endanger America's national security, but the most important way they could is if they acquired a nuclear weapon. And that is the red line the president of the United States has consistently set.